I'm so excited and I just can't hide it. Hi everyone, I'm Jacob, I'm the Cowhat Librarian, and tonight's going to be a little different. A few weeks back, I posted a video talking about my top 5 children's books of 2022, along with my most disappointing book, Sorry Mr. Willems. And I thought a neat follow-up would be to talk about the top 5 children's books I'm most looking forward to in 2023, because there is some great stuff coming later this year, and I'm incredibly excited for them. And in fact, I may or may not have just placed some holds on them in my local library system. So, first up is coming at the end of this month, February 28th, by Dan Santat, someone whose name is all over my videos for being a brilliant illustrator, and who provided the artwork for one of my favorite books of last year, Endlessly Ever After, which he worked on with Laurel Snyder. He has written an autobiographical graphic novel called First Time for Everything. Now, Santat is incredibly talented, so I firmly believe anything he does is worth taking a look at. But I've also been a big fan of biographical graphic novels in the past, from ones that were tangentially biographical, like Gene Lung Yang's Dragon Hoops, where he told the story of the basketball team at the school he was teaching at the time, but it was intercut with his own personal decision about making changes in his career to leave teaching and become a cartoonist full-time. Or Raina Telgemeier's semi-biographical works, things like Smile and Guts and Sisters, where she talks through some of her experiences as a younger person, and certainly fictionalizes some portions of it, I'm sure, but did so in a really great way. Or, most notably, The Dumbest Idea Ever by the very talented Jimmy Gownley, which talked all about what caused him to become a cartoonist in the first place. And as an aside, I know he wrapped up the series perfectly, but it would be a real treat if Mr. Gownley returned to Amelia Rules again. I know an Amelia namesake who I think would love to see more. Anyway, that's it for February. In April, there's a doubleheader on April 4th. First off, the 20th anniversary edition, and boy, that makes me feel old, of Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus by Mo Willems will be released. It is hard to overstate how big of an impact The Pigeon has had on picture books. The number of fourth wall breaking books has increased significantly since The Pigeon's debut. The number of artists aping Mo Willems' drawing style has increased. The Pigeon has grown to the point where that first book is so iconic that it can be riffed on in future books, like The Pigeon Has to Go to School. It was a signature, iconic moment in the recent history of picture books, and seeing its 20th anniversary edition be released is really cool. Now, with that said, I would love it. I don't think it'll happen, but I would love it if Mo Willems decided to make it a special annotated version with the Pigeon providing commentary from the margins, looking back on his younger self. I think that would be just absolutely priceless and supremely funny, above and beyond what is already an A+ picture book. I assume it's too late to add that as a wish list thing, but if you're listening out there, Mr. Willems, I think it would be hilarious. I would buy it. Now, the other half of the April 4th doubleheader is Class Trip by Jerry Craft. Now, Jerry Craft is a really talented cartoonist who created the graphic novels New Kid and Class Act, which told some really great, true to the character stories about fitting in and having friends and dealing with school. And I can't say Jerry Craft is in my top tier of artists and writers that I follow, but he's certainly someone who I don't pass by on the graphic novel shelf. I've already placed a hold on this new one, and I'm looking forward to reading it. So now we've got to jump ahead a couple months to my next one. August 22nd is the release date for Tessa Miyata is No Hero by the incredibly talented Julie Abe. Now, I'm excited for this one because it's going to fulfill the promise that I thought I was getting with Aliana, the Girl of Dragons. It's another book by a talented author that's a standalone novel. I thought Aliana, Girl of Dragons was going to be a standalone novel, and it turned out to be a prequel to the Ava Evergreen series. And it was fantastic. I loved it. It was a great retelling of the Cinderella myth tied into the overarching stuff that was going on in Ava Evergreen. It was wonderful. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Abe can do with a just completely brand new character and setting. It's going to be great. Then, a couple weeks later, September 12th, How Does Santa Get Down the Chimney by the dynamic duo themselves, Jon Klassen and Mac Barnett. They did a really, really fun rendition of the Three Billy Goats Gruff in 2022. They have been talented collaborators on different works, and I can't wait to see what they come up with. If it is anything like Sam and Dave Dig a Hole, we are in for a treat. They're an incredibly talented twosome. Mac Barnett is a wizard with words. Jon Klassen's artwork I could stare at all day long. It's going to be good. And speaking of good, last but not least, on October 3rd, Scaredy Squirrel Gets Festive by Melanie Watt. It's going to be the third entry in the Scaredy's Nutty Adventures series, the spin-off series of Scaredy Squirrel that's had more graphic novel style elements than just a straight picture book. The first two were great. Scaredy Squirrel Gets a Surprise had my kids and I laughing out loud because of how ridiculous Scaredy was treating things. Watt's recent one about Scaredy Squirrel going to the doctor showed she is perfectly capable of doing classic Scaredy Squirrel books as well. And I am thrilled. The original Scaredy Squirrel book about Christmas, ostensibly a guide to celebrating Christmas safely, was really, really fun and well written. It was a little long though, so I can't wait to see what Watt comes up with Scaredy to do regarding the holidays in a quicker moving graphic novel style format. It's going to be great. I can't wait for October to read it, and as soon as it's available in my local public library's catalog, I'll be placing a hold on it. Now on that note, if you use and support your local public library, why not take just a minute to tell the powers that be exactly that? Tell your MP, tell an MLA, tell your mayor or councillor that you use and appreciate the services of your local public library. We're at a time where many public libraries are having trouble finding sustainable funding to continue supporting the programs, materials, and services we all use and love. And a few good words in the right ears might make a world of difference. And if by some chance you're a library staff member watching this, don't forget, watching my videos counts as professional development time. With that, thank you for listening to me gush about the year ahead. I can't wait for these books to come out. I can all but guarantee I will have videos out about them, talking about the likes, the dislikes, and most importantly, the deal breakers. With that, by all means, please like, please subscribe, and please check back to see what else I have to talk about from the Cowhat Library. Thank you. Bye now.